Chris Janson.
Chris, how you been, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me in. Beautiful studio.
Thank you. Built it with my own two hands.
I knew you did.
You ever build stuff on your property?
I do build stuff on my property. I mean, not good, but I do build stuff, yeah.
What do you do? Well, like, what do you do at home? Like, what's your like dad thing or like your Chris thing?
Well, this afternoon I'm going fishing with Jesse, my youngest, and we go fishing just about every day that we're home.
Do you have a pond on your property?
I do. I have a pond at the house where we live, but then I have a lot of acreage on the Harpeth River, and we go out in the river. And so lately, actually, in the last couple of weeks, me and a crew of guys have been clearing out the river on the days we've been off, and the riverbanks, and kind of prettying it up, kind of making it more scenic, and so you can get down into the water. So that's what we've been doing.
You stock the pond at all?
We do.
Man, that's just total joy for a kid to go into a stock pond. And by kid, I mean me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean all of us. It's awesome. But
You're wearing your Bass Pro hat, and
Yeah.
so I know you know Johnny Morris. I know Johnny Morris.
Yeah.
I was up there a few weeks ago, and it's really cool to be able to text him and just be like, we're coming up. But he let me fish out of one of his stocked
trout licks.
Oh my gosh, it was It was called the Glory Hole.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Unbelievable. They're massive. You can see them.
Yeah.
And you're just fly fishing in, and boom.
Yeah, it's the greatest ever. Honestly, he's been like father figure to me, as you know, and just been so good to me. And I'm really always proud to be a Bass Pro man. But I fish that too, and it is pretty awesome.
It's the greatest fishing experience I've ever had, and I fished my whole life growing up. And Arkansas Keith, my stepdad, was a striper guide, and
Yeah.
that's probably the most fun fish to catch for me as a striper because they're big and they fight.
They are big and they do fight. You're right.
But being able to catch those trout in that up there is awesome.
Well, trout is my favorite. Last week we were on the road. We were in Montana, New Mexico, and Colorado, and we had like a 4-day run out there before we came back to the East Coast. And so, again, Jesse, who was traveling with us, my youngest, he was like, dude, we got to go fishing. So we took some fly rods with us. We weren't having any luck. We were in Bozeman, then we were in Avon, Colorado, around Beaver Creek, and we went over to the store and bought a cheap little spinning rod and some rooster tails, and we started popping the trout out of there one after the other. So it was pretty fun. We took one and cooked it in the hotel.
I think we grew up pretty similarly. Did you ever? I'll probably Arkansas Keith won't care, but did you try to catch catfish a bunch?
That's basically all we caught.
And so we would
Yeah.
do things like set trot lines.
Yep.
And we would take like big Pennzoil oil jugs and put it, and they'd pull them down.
Yeah.
And so that's how we catch all the big catfish.
Yeah.
Was by setting trot lines.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody trot lines anymore, do they? Is that even illegal? Even legal now?
I think so. I mean, I would have to check the law on it, but I think it's pretty legal, and I think that,
Not how we did it, though.
You
I don't
never
think.
know. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of things growing up that probably would be frowned upon, but no, we did the same thing with like Mountain Dew 2-liter bottles,
Yeah, so we did Pennzoil. Pennzoil, cut, and they'd float, and you set them, and boom, when they pull them down, you had them.
Yeah, it's like milk jugs, but that's all we really fished for, because that's like the low hanging fruit. You know what I mean? But we grew up going to a place called Clearwater Lake. My grandma and me, and she always took me fishing as a kid, so that's where my early love from it came. I was just fishing on the riverbanks with my grandma.
What do your kids want to do? Because I know you take them on stage.
Yeah.
You take them fishing. Like, what do they want to do now?
So all 4 of my kids are doing really well. The older 2, my bonus kids, are very successful, and they're living their life, and they're doing great. One's in HR, one's in medical. They're crushing it. My younger 2, my youngest daughter, Georgia, she wants to be a model, and she very well could be. And then Jesse, he gets on. It was his idea for the singing thing, so he gets on stage to sing with me on his own merit. And he either wants to be a singer or a hunting and fishing guide, he tells me. But then some days he's like, I want to be a bull rider. So I don't know, whatever. And he loves UFC. He loves the UFC. So he likes to scrap. And so he's always telling me, you used to fight with me when I was little, and now you don't fight with me anymore. It's like we can't fight every single second of the day, but it is really fun to, I forget, being a dad, sometimes you forget what it was like being a kid and looking up to somebody like that. And so I try to make every moment like that count. Like sometimes Kelly and I will talk about it, and she'll go, gosh, like you spent the whole day on the river or whatever you're doing. But investing the time in your kids, I think, is the most important thing you can do. Just the time. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but just the time. So someday they remember, my dad was busy all the time, and my mom and dad worked all the time. They travel all the time. But we had a very normal life outside of it. And I'm proud to say that we do. I feel like we have a very normal life, and I haven't missed a day of car rider line yet as a dad, and Kelly hasn't missed a day of car rider line yet as
You mean
a mom.
like carpool line?
Yeah.
Is
Like,
that miserable?
Oh, yeah.
you know what? It's
No, I'm not saying.
It's like it is what it is.
It is.
50-50.
Yeah.
Like it's intended. Do you ever get honked at? I can never do it right.
You know,
I've
so-
missed a lot of days.
Yeah, so I got it. So before we were friends with the principal, right, at the schools, and both principals are really cool at the schools because they're in different grades. But before we were friends with them, we would get in trouble all the time because me and Kelly are like a personality in the car. So we pull up in these car rider lines, and we're always going what we think is the right way. It's like the shortest way would be the right way. That's what people would think. Instead, they want you to go the long way. So then we sit in the long way, and then we get in trouble. We have to go through the whole deal. Mr. Janson, you can't sit. Like, okay, no problem, whatever. But it's okay. And it's not miserable because soon it's not going to be happening. And it just makes me so sad.
But both can be true. It can be that part of that process can be not joyful or miserable, but what you get from it can actually be wonderful. Because I think that would be miserable. I've picked up other kids in that line. I'm like, I don't want to sit here. This is terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible sitting there, especially the wait, at the end of the day, because they make you, they make you wait in a line, and I hate waiting in lines, but it's part of life. But again, as a dad, I can tell you, I can assure you, and anybody out there listening, they would agree. It's like you don't get those moments your whole life, and once they're gone, you miss them. And I remember being in car rider lines with my older two kids, my bonus kids, as a stepdad early on, and going, gosh, it sucks, I don't like this, but then when it's over, it's you miss it. You miss those weird things like that in life.
And the conversations that are had, like driving home from school. I get that.
Every day, me and so I take Jesse, Kelly takes Georgia, and for no other reason, it's just kind of how it happened. But well, I know really why it started. Me and Jesse like to hunt in the mornings, and so before school we usually hunting or fishing. But we ride to school in the mornings, and we're listening to Hank Jr. records, and we're listening to Skinner, and every now and again Jesse's like, "Can we put on Walk by Pantera?" And I'm like, "Yes." Can we turn it up in the car rider line? I'm like, "Yes, absolutely." So we roll through the car rider line, cranking Bad Reputation or Walk by Pantera.
So you mentioned Bozeman, Montana a minute ago. I've been to Bozeman. It's awesome.
It is.
I've been around
awesome.
Bozeman. It's the only place that I've been. And again, we drove out into the national park.
Yeah.
And the national parks are so big; they're like small states themselves.
Yeah.
And there's no cell service at all. We've done this bit on this show before. If you had to move somewhere that you've never actually lived before and you're not really associated with, but where would you move? Like I love Chicago. I think Chicago's great, except for in the winter and when it gets too cold. Where would you move? You've traveled everywhere.
Well, yeah. So I'm going to give you a two-part answer. The first part is my favorite city in the whole world is New York City, Manhattan, and I could live there today.
Because I didn't expect that from you.
It's vibrant, it's fun. I love to eat, and there's food 24/7, and you can basically get whatever you want. You can get great steak, you can get great hamburger, you can get great sushi 24/7, and I love it there. I also love Los Angeles. If I was living a bougie lifestyle, I'm not afraid to admit that I love Bel Air. I think it's beautiful. I think the people are nice, and
That also means you have a lot of money if you're living there.
And it smells good.
Yeah.
But it smells like a candle 24/7. But I think if an unfamiliar place that I'd love to live, I would love to live in Montana as well. I'm a West guy. I love the South, of course. I love our country, but I love the South. We spent a lot of time in Florida. But if I could live there full time, I love the no humidity in the West, and I love the hunting and the fishing, and the culture is nice and just open sky.
I just don't like the cold anywhere.
See, I do.
I hate it.
Yeah, I don't mind. It just reminds me of my favorite time of the year. It's like if you can get a pumpkin spice and a cold morning, there's nothing better.
That's fine for like 5 days, and then I'm good. I'm good. I don't need the seasons. Give me a week of winter.
Yeah.
I'm good to go. I like to be warm, be able to go outside and play in the cul-de-sac until the sun goes down.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you big time. Actually, yeah.
Chris Janson is here. He's got a new album out today called Wild Horses. So let's start with Me and a Beer, because this is the single we're going to play.
Yeah, thank you.
Set this song up for us. Like, give me a story about it, behind it.
Sure. So Kelly and I were talking at the house about, we were in the early stages of making this Wild Horses record, and she goes, man, can you please just go write something like Fix a Drink and Good Vibes, but like in the middle of that? And I said, honest to God, like, you don't know how hard it is to write a song like that, or to write a Buy Me a Boat or something like that. It's a very fun, lighthearted song. Because as a songwriter, I first go to introspective. I go to the deep spots, like most people. But to write a song that it just makes you feel good is sometimes the most challenging thing. But I got together with my guys. It was Ashley Gorley, Taylor Phillips, and Andy Sheridan, who Andy's a co-producer on the track and the whole record. And I said, hey, this is the goal. Let's make a V, like a V. Fix a Drink, Good Vibes Are Here. We want to sit in the middle. And that's where Me and a Beer came from. And we looked up all the titles, which was the interesting thing. And if you go back through my catalog of hit songs, the one thing I'm really proud of that I never really realized is that you can't find another Drunk Girl. You can't find another Buy Me a Boat. You can't find another Fix a Drink. You can't find another Good Vibes, maybe one. But nobody ever wrote Me and a Beer. And I just couldn't believe it. I thought, it's got to be a million times out there, but it wasn't. It was unique, and it was for the everyday working class hero, man. I mean, because, the people I play for every night, I can see it. They're a little quiet, and then if they have one beer, they're like, I'm loving it. If they have two, they're like, we're not leaving. And three, it's off to the races. So it was really the premise behind it.
Hey, Chris, let me ask you a question about playing back at Tootsie's back in the day.
Sure, please.
What was the most amount you could make a night in tips?
Made $5,000 was the most.
In a night? One night?
Yeah, made $5,000 one night. The reason is, like, it taught me how to be a hustler, and I was already a hustler when I got there. Because I came from playing just whatever venues in southern Missouri where I was from and traveling around and doing that in school, to coming to Nashville where they don't pay you money. You just get paid out of a tip jar. So I thought, well, this is so uncharacteristic to what people are used to, and it's not really fair. But it's the way of the world, so you just learn how to hustle tips and speak to people, not really fans, just people in the bar. Speak to patrons like you've known them forever, and almost make them feel like they know you forever, and then they'll want to tip you on that, and just play what they want to hear.
What's the most you ever got for a single tip or performance?
Probably like.
Oh, don't even say it.
No, really, $500 probably.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that somebody trying to show off in front of their girl, like some old business dude?
It's always the old business. So
Yeah.
okay. So I got a great description for you. So years ago, when Bridgestone Arena used to be called, what did it used to be called? Gaylord. Okay.
That's before us.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was like right when I first got to town. But okay. This guy used to come in, and he's not part of the Gaylord Opry entertainment group that I know, but it was somebody from the old school Gaylord camp, and he would come in there all the time, slacks and the whole deal. He looked like he just walked out of the corporate office, and he would always come in the evenings, probably around 5 or 6 o'clock, right about shift change, because you go 6 to 10, so it was like right in that shift change. And he was sitting there and watch me 6 to 10, and he would tip hundreds, he would tip 500, and it was always in that way. But it was never like he never had girls with him or nothing. It was just like a corporate dude that just came in there and drank Bud Lights and just normal.
Tipped hundreds? Was he trying to get you?
I hope not. He didn't.
Wow.
But he would tip hundreds, I've made $500 per song. I mean, you just play what people want to play, and that's it. I mean, I use the same method now, even being a professional touring act. Like, I just am of the belief that if you have the luxury of having hit songs, which is so hard to do, and it's like cracking the code, and not everybody gets to do it. If you have that luxury, play the hits. People want to hear the hits, and then you can play some B-sides. That's cool, but it's a great privilege for me, so I enjoy it. And honestly, sometimes people remember they know about my story with Tootsie's and playing on the tip jar circuit, and they will, and not in a rude way, but they'll be like tips in a note, like, can you play this? And I'm like, sure, but then we donate the money. So like the last 3 times this happened, we just give it to St. Jude, the local St. Jude chapter, or things like that, and that's a good way to raise money.
Dude, that's crazy. You made $5,000, and I'm sure you reported all that to the government.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Every single
I did
bit.
when I waited tables. Every tip, cash, reported it all. Chris has got a new album out today that's called Wild Horses. I want to play a little bit of Hardest Hunting Season with Jamie Janson.
I really appreciate you picking that one. It's awesome. It's my favorite song on the album. As a matter of fact, I have a group of friends in Florida where we live sometimes that I hunt and fish with, and it's a great family. It's a father, 2 sons. We're really close. We hunt every year, fish every year. Last September, one of the brothers who I'm closer with called me and said, "Hey man, Graham just passed away." It was his brother, and Dad, what do you say to that? And he said, "Dad would like to know if you would please come down and be a part of the funeral in some way, maybe sing a song." I said, "Sure." So We flew down, and I did Go Rest High on the mountain on piano. And as I walked up graveside, the dad, who I'm really close with, he said, I'm so sorry. He said, hey, Chris, this is going to be my hardest hunting season. And it just, selfishly, I accidentally take song titles away from just about everything that I do. I wasn't looking for it in that moment. It just happened. And I came back that Sunday, and then the following Tuesday, we got into the studio at the cabin, and I had some guys coming over to write for what turned out to be the Wild Horses album. And I said, hey, I got this idea. We got to do it. And they were totally on board. It was Josh Phillips, Mitch Oglesby, and Michael Wilkes, and they were just totally on board. But it's a very true story. And then I always, I've done a lot of great collaborations over the years, which I'm really proud of. But the one that I wanted to do forever was Jamie, because I'm just such I'm probably his number one fan. And I reached out to him. I said, I would really appreciate you giving this a listen and considering doing this with me. And he hit me right back, and he said I would love to, and he did. And I just thought it was so eloquent how he did it, and I really appreciate it.
I want to play one other song here because I have a question. It's called The Broken, and I know Kelly Lovelace.
Yeah.
Kelly Rowland, is that the Kelly Rowland I'm thinking of, or is that a different Kelly Rowland?
No, that's
from Destiny's Child, Kelly Rowland. I know it's your wife. I'm kidding.
Well, we get asked that every time we check into a hotel.
Really?
They look at her and they go, "You're
but
not
I would
Kelly
think.
Rowland."
But the reason I asked that is your wife doesn't list her name as Kelly Janson.
Yeah. Well, I think she is proud of our marriage. I know she is. But the truth is that we got married on July 4th. 15 years ago. We just celebrated 15 years. And whenever we got married, we were in the middle of a radio tour, and on my first record deal ever, and we were just kids, and we didn't have time to go do all the switching over with the names. And I was like, I don't care. It doesn't offend me. Just keep your name, and it's just easier. So it just kept it easy. So she's always kept her name, her maiden name, and I'm good with it.
Do people often think that she's Kelly Rowland? Not Kelly Rowland. It's a weird question to ask Kelly Rowland if they see the writing credits. I think it's Kelly from Destiny's Child.
All the time. I'm telling you, from writing credits to hotels to just you name it, banks, whatever. They're like, they look at her and they go, "You're not. Kelly
You don't look
Rowland.
like her.
You don't look like Kelly Rowland."
What about the song you wrote with Beyonce Knowles on here? So what are you doing out to support the album?
We are flying out to 6 major cities, and we are taking this live on the road, which is cool. We're going to 6 major big radio markets, and we're doing this live for fans.
Doing the record live?
Yeah, I'm doing probably about half the record live, and then doing the rest of it a Q&A for people, a real up close and personal thing, which would be the first time I've ever done something like this. But we're going to hit multiple cities in certain days. I think we're going to take 2 to 3 days a jaunt, but we're going to hit multiple cities during each one. And this is in the middle of an extensive tour schedule, which I'm grateful for. So it just kind of lined up and worked out great. But it's a good way to get real with people and get them involved with an album. It's a unique way. And so pretty proud of that. But other than that, man, I've been playing these songs. I released a couple of songs early off this record. This Flag, The Bride, of course, Me and a Beer, and now Wild Horses, in leading up to releasing the full-blown album. And we've been playing those live, and they've been going over really good, which I'm always hesitant to play new songs. It can be an awkward thing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's people come to hear the hits, and so you gotta be careful playing B-sides or something they've never heard before. But these songs have somewhat familiarized themselves to them already, and that feels really good. It's like the first time on an album that I felt really confident doing it. No big deal. Like, I actually even started playing bass guitar on Wild Horses live. I haven't played bass since I was a kid. That was my first instrument, and so it's opened up a lot of new doors for me personally, and I'm it's enjoyable.
Let me ask about the Mountain Dew. Do you drink Mountain Dew at all again? Are you back?
No,
Are
sir.
You off? You
No,
still clear?
No, sir. So as of June 1 this year, that marked 1 year of not having any Mountain Dew, no Cokes, no nothing, no caffeine.
No sodas at all?
No sodas at all.
No caffeine at
No
all?
zero
Not even
caffeine.
any Starbucks?
No, sir. No, zero caffeine.
Wait,
Wow.
well, earlier you said something about a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
Is it decaf?
Decaf.
Nice.
No, he just eats a pumpkin in the morning.
We eat a lot of pumpkins. No, but it's decaf. I haven't had any caffeine, and I haven't had any sodas.
Wow.
And
Why?
Because I got really bloated for like a couple weeks, and Kelly was like, "Gosh, like, are you getting a dad bod already?" And I was like, "I don't think so." And then we had this industry, this number one party for All I Need Is You, and all my co-writers were picking on me, going, God, you're in a dad bod. And I was like, shut up.
Your coworkers were telling you were getting a dad bod?
Yeah, like my co-writers were like,
That's messed up, man.
Yeah, and like these dad bods were telling me I got a dad bod, and I'm like, dang, man. So I honestly, but I, you know, I don't get self-conscious about stuff. I don't care. But I was like, I don't feel very good, and I'm not telling a lot of people. I don't feel good. So I went to a GI doc who told me that you have to quit drinking Mountain Dew today if you haven't done it already, or you're gonna die.
Because you had drank so much
over
your life?
Because I had a thing called leaky gut, which is a real thing where if you consume something so bad for so long, it eats basically a hole through your stomach, and that's it. And I got that. And so I had to
You were hitting them pretty hard, right?
24 a day easy.
Yeah.
24 a day.
Crazy.
Wait,
Easy.
Whoa.
Easy.
24 cans.
Yeah, like like the big box.
A day.
Yeah.
How did you sleep?
Easy. I still don't sleep. You know, it's interesting. I sleep worse now than I did then.
Huh.
But I'll tell you the greatest thing about it is that my complexion came back. I'm a darker skinned, like a olive skinned type person naturally, and it was hollowing me out. It really was tearing my life up. I mean, I've had 9 root canals. Like it was destroying.
Dude, 24 of
my
anything
body.
a day.
Yeah.
Right.
24 massages of a day. You're probably gotta
Oh,
go
God,
and have.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow,
man.
wow.
But I feel pretty good. I've only had water and natural juices for over. I mean, June 1st was a year, and now we're well over a year. So I'm never gonna go back. It's just something I just cut out. I had to cut out of my life, and
Dang.
I want to. You know, people aren't gonna live forever, but I want to live as long as I can. So that's it.
Are you working with Craven Flavor?
Yeah, and I love them.
Yeah, they do our green room. They're really good. How'd you get together with them?
Man, it was so. I don't even know how it actually originally happened, but this sweet girl Ashley, somehow the wires got crossed, and then all of a sudden Kelly's like, we got this offer from this girl named Jen. They reached out to this girl named Jen, who's a great marketing girl, and then she reached out to Kelly. What do you think about working with these people? And I'm funny about working with people because if I'm going to endorse something or they're going to endorse me, even more importantly, I want it to be natural and not weird, and I just don't do it if it doesn't feel right. But I said, let's just at least meet these people. So she came out to our show in Illinois, and I'll never forget, we were standing by a train track, bus was parked over there, it was me and Justin Moore and a couple other people, and she brought her husband, and I was like, man, these are good folks. And it was kind of like we'd kind of getting the ball rolling, and then Craven happened, and they've been a really good partner, man. Like we got these gift boxes they've set up around the album. I didn't, they did around the album, really eloquently done. My kids are trashing the house with food all the time.
Yeah, they also are really good. Like,
it's
really good.
It's awesome, dude. The dill pickle pretzels are probably our favorite, a choice favorite in the house, and I'm a big ice cream nut, so I love the mint chocolate chip ice cream. But I just like them personally. You know, aside of the product, I think that a product really stands on its own 2 feet when people are nice and they're good folks at the heart and the core, and that's how things work really well. And it's been a really good partnership.
See, I'm okay with bad people with great product. So as long as the product's great, that's why I like Craven. Hey, dude, congratulations.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, I know it's a big day. New record out today.
Thank you.
Great to see you. You guys check out the new album, Wild Horses. It is out today. Go stream the crap out of it. And that is Chris Janson, everybody. There he is.
Thank you, guys.
It's a